Hello everyone, my name is Madhuchandhan and I am studying in University of Mysore at Department of Computer Science. Today I will explain about the artificial intelligence used in the game chess. These are the contents which is introduction, objective, movements, titles, technology aspects, chess engines and Maya's prediction. First, introduction to chess. Chess is a two-player strategy board game played on a chessboard. Chess is considered to be an intelligent legal game played between the two players. A competitive game board with 64 squares arranged in an 8 by 8 grid. It contains two sets of color which is black and white, and it has 16 pieces, that is one king, one queen, two rooks, two bishops, two knights and 8 pawns, which is rooks are called as elephants, bishop is called as camel, knight is called as horse, pawns which are commonly called as soldiers. Chess is a strategy game and involves no hidden informations. Chess is very simple and it is played by millions of people worldwide, and it is one of the world's most popular game played by the households. The objective. The objective is to checkmate the opponent's king by placing it under an inescapable threat of capture. To this end, a player's piece are used to attack and capture the opponent's pieces, which is the opponent beat an opponent player's pawns through their pawns. While supporting each other, in addition to checkmate, the game can be won by voluntary resignation by the opponent, which typically occurs when too much material is lost. That means the pieces. Or if checkmate appears unavoidable, that means if the opponent has been continuously checking the opponent's king, then it is called as the checkmate appears unavoidable. A game may also result in a draw in several ways. The movements. The first is the king. The king moves one square in any direction. There is also a special move called castling that involves moving the king and a rook. The king is the most valuable piece in a chessboard. A rook can move any number of squares along a rank or a file. The rook, which is called as elephant, can move straight or the horizontal way, but it cannot leap over other pieces along with the king. A rook is involved during the king castling move. A bishop can move any number of squares diagonally but cannot leap over other pieces, the which is the camel. A queen combines the power of rook and bishop and can move any number of squares along a rank, file, or diagonal, but cannot leap over the other pieces. The king is After the king is the first valuable pawn in the chessboard, and the queen stands in the second most valuable pawn in the chessboard. A knight. The knight, which means a horse, moves to any of the closest squares that are not on the same rank, file, or diagonal. The horse moves in the L shape so that it hops over to the two steps ahead. A pawn can move forward to an unoccupied square immediately in front of it and beat the opponent piece with a zigzag itself. The soldier can beat the opponent's pieces through the zigzag manner. It cannot beat if it is in the unoccupied square immediately in front of it. When a king is in immediate attack, it is said to be in the check. A move in response to check is legal only if it is result in a position where the king is no longer in a check. The king should move from the opponent player such that the opponent's pawn should hide from the king. The object of the game is to checkmate the opponent. This occurs when the opponent's king is in the check and there is no legal way to get it out of the check, such that if the king moves any of the positional square, the opponent's pawns are being placed in such a manner that if king of the opponent player moves any of the position, it will be under in the check. So in that situation, the game is considered to be a win. We can see the graphical representation of a chessboard where we can see some of the pawns moving here. The recognized titles. There are some titles has been awarded for the players. The first one is the Grand Master (GM). It is awarded to world class chess master. It is the highest title that a chess player can achieve. The second one is International Master, that is IM. Third one is FIDE Master, that is FM. Fourth one is Candidate Master, that is CM. These titles are awarded for both men and women, and in women section it is just called as Women Grandmaster, the Women Candidate Master, the Women International Master, such like that. Technology. The chess game began in the 7th century. The oldest known chess manual was in Arabic and dates to about 840 BC. It has been written by Al Adliar Rumi, a renowned Arab chess player. He titled the book called Kitab Ash Shatranj, the book of the chess. And there are some more books, which is three books on Pallavi, which is in Middle Persian, and one book on Arshacharita, which has been written in Sanskrit, and another book called Chatrang, which represents one of the earliest written accounts of the chess. The early form of Indian chess is called as Chaturanga. That means it has been divided into four parts, which is infantry, cavalry, elephants, chariots. In 1951, Alan Turing was the first to publish a program developed on paper that was capable of playing a full chess game. In 1960s, chess engines were developed, but due to the absence of technological tools, it was not developed much. The Grandmaster Garry Kasparov, he defeated the computer which has been developed by the IBM called Deep Blue with a set of 4 is to 2. And the Grandmaster Garry Kasparov won in the 1996, but again in 1997 the IBM has been redesigned the Deep Blue, and again the Deep Blue has beat the Grandmaster Garry Kasparov with a set of 2.5 is to 3 is 3.5. The artificial intelligence algorithm developed for human play to utilize many different kinds of principles. While it is complex to discuss what each engine uses for its functionality and working, we know that few popular engines like AlphaZero make use of neural networks, deep learning, and neural net-like automations. Leela Chess Zero utilizes an open source implementation of AlphaZero, which learns chess through self-play games and deep reinforcement learning. Modern chess engines are so well developed that they will not drop a single game to a human player. These engines has been designed such a way that the human cannot defeat the engines, such that the engines developed by the other companies can only beat those engines. These modern results with the help of chess engines and the neural networks and deep learning based chess networks taking over the chess to the next level. There are some competition results such like in 2017 the Alpha Zero beats the Stockfish with a set of 28 is to 0 with a no loss. And again in 2019 the Leela Chess Zero versus the Stockfish, which Leela Chess Zero has been won with a set of 53.5 to 46.5. There are some time limits for the chess game, which is sometimes it will be 2 minutes for a chess pawns to the move, or 30 seconds to a chess pawn to the move. The potential influence on artificial intelligence in the universe of chess is making the game more improvements in the technology. Artificial intelligence on the game. Some argue that this influence on AI on chess is a overall drastic improvement, and further advancement are yet to be made for challenging the modern players. As the modern player has been thinking more uniquely, the computer should also improve their performance. As AI continues its rapid progress, equaling or surpassing human performance on an increasing range of tasks, researchers in the field are directing more efforts to the interaction between the human and AI in domains where both are active. In such that humans and AI in domains where both are active, the chess is considered to be a best game for the research. Chess stands as a model based for studying how people can collaborate with AI or learn from just AI. Just as chess has served as a leading indicator of many central questions in AI throughout the field histories. AI powered chess engines have been consistently beaten human players since 2005. Until that, some of the grandmasters have been beaten the computer also, such as the introduction of the heuristic based stockfish engine in 2008 and the reinforcement learning based Alpha Zero engine in 2017. The two paperworks on chess which compromises the AI are aligning superhuman AI with human behavior, chess as a model system, and learning personalized behaviors of human behaviors in the chess. These are the two paperworks on the chess which compromises the artificial intelligence, as well as a novel chess engine called Maya, which is the most advanced technique which is trained on games played by humans to more closely match human play. We can see the example where how certain different models how they move and which have been agreed by the chess academies. The chess engines. The first one is Stockfish. The Stockfish, it created several versions of Stockfish, one for each depth limit. For example, the depth 3, Stockfish can only took 3 moves ahead. As the depth increases, it can move more steps ahead. And then it tested them on a test sets in a plot below. We break out the accuracies by rating level so that we can see if the engine thinks more like players or a specific skill levels. We see the graphs with the accuracy and the rating as the depth increases, like a depth 1, depth 3, depth 5, like this. As the accuracy has been decreased and the rating is also low, as the accuracy has been increased, the rating will be also high, which means the accuracy will predict that how much the mistake the chess engine can do. The next one is Leela Chess Zero. As that the stockfish was attenuated more, so the attenuating stockfish does not characterize human play at specific levels. The Leela Chess Zero, an open source implementation of Alpha Zero, which learns chess through self play games and deep reinforcement learning. Unlike Stockfish, Leela incorporates no human knowledge in its design. However, the chess community was very excited by how Leela seemed to play more like human players. We can see the graph of accuracy rating where there is a less mistake done by the Leela Chess Zero engine, so that it will improve the accuracy of the game. We can see this graph how Alpha Zero will work. These simulations has been divided in a tree like structure, and it will predict how and what the next move and what the opponent has been thinking, and what the next move should be done by the engines. The next one is Maya. Maya is an engine designed to play like a humans at a particular skill level. To achieve this, we adapted the Alpha Zero or Leela chess framework to learn from human games. We created 9 different versions, one for each rating range from 1100 to 1199 to 1900 to 1999. These are the ratings given by the ELO rating system, which uses the mathematical terms to calculate the relative skills of the players and the engines. It made 9 training data sets in the same way that we made the test data sets with each training set containing 12 million games, and then trained a separate Maya model for each rating bin to create our 9 Mayas from Maya 1100 to Maya 1900. We can see the accuracy and the rating, where here the accuracy of the prediction has been more and more increased, and the mistake done by the engines is very relatively very low compared to the other two. Maya's prediction. You can find all the details in the paper which has been discussed previously, but one of the most exciting things about Maya is that it can predict mistakes of the opponent players. Even when human makes an absolute holler, which is hanging a queen, in other words, letting an opponent capture it for free. For example, Maya predicts the exact mistake made more than 25% of the time. This could be really valuable for average player trying to improve their game. Maya could look at your games and tell which blunders are predictable and which were random mistake. If your mistakes are predictable, you know what to work on to hit the next level. As the chess is an intelligent game, it requires the more IQ level skill players to play the game. As the performance rating has been calculated through some of the formulas like total number of opponents rating plus 400 into total number of wins by the previous players and minus the total number of loss and whole divided by the total number of games. We can calculate by like this, and we can come out with the performance rating for the engines as well as the players also. These performance rating, which is given by the ELO rating system, is not only calculated for the chess game, it is also used for the several other games also. The current world champion is Magnus Carlsen. It turns out to be a personalizing Maya. Maya gives us our biggest performance gains, whereas base Maya predicts more human moves around 50% of the time. Some personalized models can predict an individual moves with accuracies up to 65%. Maya, which is a personalized models which has been developed in the previous one, can predict more accuracy up to 65% of the opponent players, which will create a win situation for the Maya engine. The different skill levels play and recognizing the playing styles of the player, Maya has shown that these capabilities are realizable using the artificial intelligence. Chess will be one model AI system that sets the stage for the discussion. Thank you.